All right, everyone, we're live in the paddock for the Santa Anita Sprint Championship at Santa Anita. You're looking at Collusion ahead of us. Well, he's not there yet. And then we will have Vertical Threat. So right here to number 2 post position, that's Vertical Threat. We've got Collusion down on the other side. I'll definitely be making my way back and forth. You guys will have to bear with me a bit, as we do have 2 horses in the same race, which is amazing, but also a little harder on me. But you know what? We're all good with that. So definitely just bear with me as we kind of I try and travel between both horses. So how's everyone feeling? Are we excited? You know, bigger accomplishment to be running in a race like this and winning your in for the Breeders' Cup, and to have 2 chances. So many of you might have both horses. Let's see if I can get a little closer. Don't see Collusion down there yet, so I'm going to try and save my feet a little bit for a second. Vertical Threat is easy to spot with his slam dunk racing blinkers, and then Collusion has flat blinkers, so both with blinkers, I believe I heard that, so correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But hopefully, here's Vertical Threat again. Looks good, he's on the prowl. The race post time, there's 18 minutes to post. So right now they're going to get all saddled up in this part, and then we'll head over to the paddock. Hi Paula, hi Gina, Pamela, Lola watching from Canada. Awesome. So I'm going to try and take us down to Collusion for a second. Sorry guys, it's a little... So there's Collusion right here with the blue blinkers on. So there's Collusion. Got some nice dapples going on. Hi Fred, hi everyone watching. Like I said, what an accomplishment. Not 1 but 2 MyRacehorses running in this race. Such an achievement. Congratulations and good luck to everyone involved. I'm trying to see both. They're actually right after one another. So there's Vertical Threat right there. And there's Collusion straight through. If you're just joining in your either ownership group, we do have 2 horses in this race. So right here, the 2 Vertical Threat. And then we also have Collusion down over here. So I said bear with me. I'm going to have to kind of jump between both horses in the paddock. But I'm happy to show you as much as I can. How's everyone feeling? And also stay tuned. After this, my portion of the live is done. You can continue and watch the whole entire race. Stay tuned. Vertical Threat's definitely done this before, coming off a win at Charlestown. Hello, Deborah, Brad, Pamela, Kathy. I know, can we hope for a dead heat? Definitely nice to be in the shade today. It's a little warm out there here at Santa Anita. You would not think it's considered fall right now, that's for sure. So there's Collusion actually right through there. And then Vertical Threat is kind of shortly behind him. The 2 post position, like I said, Collusion is number 6, Vertical is number 2. They both look great. Hey George, love that you're watching. Yep, going to Vegas is up next. It's a busy day, Forerunner day. So cool. So if you're just tuning in, you're watching the Vertical Threat and Collusion watch party. Collusion is now getting saddled. We've got a bunch of other races on the card today, including our horses. So next race, the 9th race, is the Grade 1 Rodeo Drive with going to Vegas. And then the 10th race is the Awesome Again. And we've got Tis Magician. Sorry, I'm just kind of watching the flags acting up a bit, trying to watch out. Always got to have your head up. There's the 2, Vertical Threat. Thank you, Kath, and good luck to everyone watching. Here's Collusion. He's all saddled up. Oh, hi, Rod. I love that. I would love that too. He's such a cool horse. I'm gonna start to head over to the paddock because last time I barely made the cutoff for you guys. I was running and that was not a great sight from the side of the camera, so apologies already because it looks like I'm cutting it close. But like I said, I'm going to try and show you guys as much of each horse as I can. It would be much easier if they were right next to each other, but that's not the case.
This bullet drill is one of 2 marked laps in the field. Go all the way to the outside and you'll find Collusion Illusion. And in this work, you'll find him coming out of the gate, which I thought was very interesting 1 week prior to his race. He's a horse that's just had 1 prep off about an 8-month layoff. And I asked Mark, why take him out of the gate so close to the race? He said, look, we're adding blinkers for the very first time in his life, and I want to make sure he's really sharp. Maybe it'll help just put him that much closer into the race. He is a horse that runs his best races from off the pace. He's already a Grade 1 winner, so we know he has the ability, but I just liked the time of the work and the way he did it. Collusion Illusion in the Santa Anita Sprint Championship.
Laps to the 12 as they roll into the backstretch.
Waiting for them to make their way. We're just waiting for them to make their way out the saddling area and they'll make their way into the paddock. Oh, hi Paula, sorry it's hard to hear me. I obviously don't want to be too loud when there's a lot going on in the paddock and not draw too much attention to myself, but I will try and enunciate very clearly and hopefully you guys can hear me. But yes, you will be able to catch the race here. There are 12 minutes to go. They should be making their way out soon. How's everyone feeling? It's a little warmer today than it was yesterday, I will say. 7-2, my kind of odds. Same. If I actually gambled, maybe I would. Yesterday, I bet terribly, you guys. I need some tips and tricks. So if anyone has any things they can show me, that would be great. Gina, we have it up because they'll start talking race commentary, and we'd figured you guys would want to hear some of it. So that is why it's on the screen currently. All right, we're just waiting for the horses to make their way out and the jockeys, and then it'll be riders up. And I will be ending my stream, but you can still catch the whole race here. So don't close out. All right, the whistle. The horses will start making their way in. It is a great day for racing. There is not a cloud in the sky here at the Great Race Place. Nice crowd too, which we want to see. Little cameo from Brittany in that TVG. There's Abel Cedillo, our jockey for Vertical Threat.
To kick off our late pick 4, I will say.
Let's take a look at a work courtesy of our partners at XP TV. It involves the rail trip on the 1. Dr. Shivel, the current co-favorite at this point.
He's going to be working in company here. He's on the outside or behind his workmate at this particular time. And, you see the time is pretty good. I would say overall, I maybe would like to see him do this a little bit easier. You can see his riders really getting after him. Like, come on, buddy, it's time to pick it up. The horse that was in the front was kind of eased up to allow him to start getting some momentum, and then ridden down where Dr. Shrivel's going to get close, but no cigar as far as passing her. Even here on the gallop out, you can see he's still being urged and not quite able to get even. Obviously, he was given a ton of work to do. He was pretty far behind, so I won't hold it completely against him. Looking at some of his other works, he does seem to be a little lazy or relaxed when he works solo, so I think Mark Glatt was putting that in there as a tightener. I'm sure he got a lot out of that work. But on a negative side, I will say that going into the Bing Crosby, I thought he looked better in the morning.
You look at the field here, Vertical Threat, I think, as well as Cold Fiction and Flagstaff, the 5, possibly could be setting this up for Dr. Schivel. But I think the same can be said for the 4 CZ Rocket, who I put on top. This horse is 4 for 9 at the distance of 6 furlongs and has had plenty of experience, including a trip to the Breeders' Cup Sprint in Keeneland back in November.
I think that CZ Rocket is a good exotics horse, an exacta horse, I should say, not exotics, but exacta. He always is right there, but we haven't seen him be victorious since a couple of races over at Oaklawn. Especially with the weather being a little bit warmer here, I'm just concerned for CZ Rocket if he's going to be able to bring his A game today. From a pace scenario, it does seem to be that he'll have something to run at, right? I think Colt Fiction and Vertical Threat are both committed to going, so he should be able to have horses that he's going to be chasing. The question is just, is he going to be able to get there in time? I thought we had another work too from Collusion Illusion, but we must have run out of time. I will say his recent work on September 25th, the bullet out of the gate, he looked phenomenal. He was inside of a trio. He was the best of the bunch. He looked super happy. I would say draw a line through the green flash, experiment. I really like Collusion Illusion in this spot.
Vertical Threat comes off a win at Charlestown in the Russell Road back on August 27th. Pretty easy day. Gets a new pilot in Abel Cedillo. Cedillo has not been on board this horse since May 23rd last year on the turf course.
So I'm a big fan of Vertical Threat. I'm a little shareholder here of him, so I've been following him along. Obviously, my drawback for him, and the reason I didn't use him, is his 2 tries against Greatest Stakes Company, the Pat Day Mile, the Bing Crosby, were both off the board finishes. I think this horse is a really high caliber, low level stakes horse, but to tangle with these who are some of the best sprinters, I think he would really have to up his game. He is training phenomenally. He looked great being brought over here, but he's going to have to prove it on the racetrack. I can step up here, Mom.
I think as an owner, you have to single him. So I'll give you a chance to change your ticket a little bit. 6 horse Collusion Illusion you just mentioned, and obviously the 5 Flagstaff could be an interesting horse here. Another one who likes to pick up checks, is a millionaire, by the way, for trainer John Satt.
He'd be a great show Viver play, right? This horse, like I said, loves to pick up checks. I do think that his ideal distance is 7 furlongs. So going the abbreviated 6 today. I'm not sure if he'll get there in time, but he is a true contender. He constantly shows up. He's a grade 1 winner, so he's got a lot of class to him.
376,000 plus in the pick 4 pool. Coming up next, the grade 2 Santa Anita Sprint Championship.
Jay Cohen, Rick Tyree, and Bill Frazier bring the horses onto the track for the Grade 2 Santa Anita Sprint Championship. An official Breeders' Cup Challenge, win and you're in, qualifying race. Here's the field for the Grade 2 Santa Anita Sprint Championship. Number 1 is Dr. Shivel, owned by Red Baron's Barn, Rancho Temescal, Branch et al. He's trained by Mark Glatt. The jockey is Flavien Pratt. 2 Vertical Threat races in the colors of Slam Dunk Racing in partnership with MyRacehorse. Trained by Richard Baltus, ridden by Abel Cedillo. 3 is Colt Fiction, owned by Jay and Julie Manugian, trained by Bill Spar with Giovanni Franco. 4 CZ Rocket, owned by Maddock Stables, Barber, Kegel et al. Trained by Peter Miller with Florent Giroux. 5 Flagstaff is owned by Lane's End Racing and Horonis Racing. John Sadler trains, Joe Bravo rides. And 6 is Collusion, Illusion, owned by MyRacehorse, Agnew, or et al. Trained by Mark Glatt with Juan Hernandez. That's the field, 3 minutes to post.
Here in the paddock with Joe Moran, who's the California racing manager for MyRacehorse. Joe, last year, your team got to experience a Kentucky Derby winner, and here you are today at Santa Anita looking for a free pass to the Breeders' Cup Sprint with 2 very live chances, I might add. Let's start with Vertical Threat. All Colt, right? All sprinter. How's he doing?
He's doing phenomenal, and he looks the picture of health. I mean, schooling yesterday in the paddock today, you could see he's feeling good. Since coming to Santa Anita, this is the first time he's trained over this track. So Richard Baltus got him over here, had 2 works from the Del Mar summer meet, handled the track great. So he's coming in the race doing great. Cedillo's been aboard him, and he's felt great. So he's ready to go.
Your other contender in here, Collusion Illusion, drew the outside post position. Looks like Mark sharpened him up. Blinkers on, put him out of the gate last week. What's his thoughts about how he might perform today?
Yeah, I think all systems are a go with him. I would say that was a big wake-up call in that workout. The one thing I'll say is he was training great going into what we were hoping to be the Bing Crosby this summer. He unfortunately had a scratch the day of the race, caused us to try him on the turf, which was what we'll say is a failed experiment, but we had to try. We didn't have many other options. Bringing him back to the dirt, he's doing great. Off that last work, we are excited what we saw, and I think with the post position, it's going to set up perfect for him, and hopefully he'll be a little closer than he usually is today.
And I have to ask you, because later on today in the Awesome Again, you have Tiz Magician who drew the inside post position. Your thoughts there?
Yeah, of course you never love to see the one post drawn, but when you really go through his past performances, it's never seemed to hinder his performances drawn the inside. He seems to be a horse that when he takes pressure from the outside, it honestly encourages him there. So it is a 1 1/8. We'll see if he's quick enough to get that position early, some outside speed. But we got Flavien Pratt, so he'll put us in the best position.
All right, you got a big team in all directions. I'll let you go. Very best of luck with you today. Joe Moran, guys.
Approaching the gate.
Just a side note to add to Millie's thoughts and Joe Moran's thoughts. I think it's going to be a big afternoon for MyRacehorse this afternoon. Vertical Threat got a chance to speak to trainer Richie Baltus about this one. It's not often you cut back a horse from 2 turns to 1, going from 7 furlongs to 6 furlongs, but Vertical Threat, big blocky type, really, really looks the part here. And he certainly is my pick of the paddock and my pick out here on the racetrack. He really does look very, very sharp indeed. And if we go to the outside of the field, Collusion Illusion, we all saw that work. We saw the blinkers on. He gets a great outside draw for Mark Glatt. And, you know, he's a little bit cooler than he usually is, and it's a hot day. So that is a very good sign for me. Good luck to all the contenders.
It's post time for the Santa Anita Sprint Championship. Dr. Schivel, the first one to load. Vertical Threat, CZ Rocket, both in. Here's Colt Fiction. Flagstaff. Collusion Illusion. They're in the gate. And they're off. Vertical Threat is the quickest. Dr. Schivel has some speed. Colt Fiction is right up and on the pace too. So it's Vertical Threat, a narrow leader. Dr. Schivel just a half length back in second, and then it's Colt Fiction third, 2.5 off the lead. Collusion Illusion is next, followed by Flagstaff. And as usual, CZ Rocket is at the back early. He has 7 to make up as Dr. Schivel takes control heading to the 3/8 pole. He's in hand and has a 1-length lead on Vertical Threat second. A gap of 4. Flagstaff is starting to rally along the inside, taking third as they come toward the quarter pole. CZ Rocket starts to find his best stride. He'll have to weave through traffic. He's on the outside of Colt Fiction. Dr. Schivel putting in a stellar performance, opens up a commanding lead. CZ Rocket is 5 lengths behind, trying to get into second. Flagstaff holds that spot currently. What an effort out of Dr. Schivel as the 3-year-old schools his elders in the Santa Anita Sprint Championship. Flagstaff gamely fends off CZ Rocket for second, then Colt Fiction. Number 1, Dr. Schivel was first. It's a photo for second. Running time, 109.44 seconds. Second, number 5, Flagstaff. Third, 4,